Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel Tarot Seat. I am Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages that come through the cards in this reading for you. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through the cards. Thank you so much for joining and for being here at the reading. So the first card that we have is the Three of Wands in the reverse. We have fire sign energy with this. You could be dealing with another Sagittarius, an Aries, or even a Leo. And we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And the Knight of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups showing up here at the bottom of the deck. This is a pretty loving energy. This also feels like a pretty genuine energy when it comes to it. With the Six of Cups, this does feel like also some past energy as well. I do feel like really being in a space where it's like either somebody from the past is coming back around, or there is also a memory that's also being sparked of the past. I do feel that with this Three of Wands showing up in the reverse over here, this does feel like an energy of getting tired of waiting. I do feel like somebody's in a position where it's like they're getting fed up with being put in a position to have to wait. I also feel that with this Three of Wands showing up here in the reverse, this does feel like actually making an effort to be able to end a waiting period. I do feel that this also does feel like being able to either hear from somebody. I also feel that there's some reaching out. But with this Knight of Swords showing up over here in the reverse, this does feel like a sense of you're not reaching out to this person. I also feel like this is also a sense of not being on speaking terms or being silent in a situation. I do feel like this does feel like a sense of being in a position where it's like you're waiting on somebody else to be able to make the initial move or to be able to reach out to you. And I do feel like with that Three of Wands showing up in the reverse, there is an energy of somebody who's also in a space where they're tired of waiting. So it's like there's a waiting game that's going on, but I do feel that this person is the one who's going to fold. I do feel like with this Knight of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of someone coming in. I also feel that with this Knight of Wands coming in, with this Knight of Wands showing up over here, this feels like a rushed energy. This feels like something that's even kind of taking you off guard or surprising you. But I do feel like with this Knight of Wands, this feels like also what is a temporary opportunity or an opportunity coming in quite quickly. And I do feel that this also feels like there's a lot of pressure to seize that moment. But I do get that with this Knight of Wands, somebody is coming in. I do feel like they're rushing in at that too. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the World. And we have Justice. And we have the Six of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck we have the Ace of Wands. So this Ace of Wands showing up here, this does feel like a start of something new. I also feel that this is an opportunity with this Ace of Wands as well, to be able to actually create something new, to be able to start something. And I do feel that there could be somebody who wants to be able to create something with you. I do feel like with this Ace of Wands, when it comes to starting anything, this does feel like a strong start. I also feel like it's a very passionate start. It is something that is going to actually mean something to you, and it's going to also be something that's going to ignite something within you. So I do feel like it's going to also be something that does feel like there's that initial spark. I do feel like with this World card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of breaking a cycle. I do feel like with this World card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a position where somebody is quite happy with a certain phase or stage of where things are. I do feel like to the point of being content enough to be able to actually move on to what's next and really be open to what's next in the situation and where things are leading to. So I do feel like this Three of Wands, this does feel like an energy of being in a position where somebody is also avoiding any kind of complacency and moving forward to be able to actually add to a situation. I do feel like with the World card showing up over here, this also feels like actually leveling up and being able to actually bring more to a situation. And I do feel like with this World card, this is taking a big step forward. With the Justice card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of really being in a position where there's a lot of honesty that is very important to come out in situations. So I do feel like there could be somebody who's coming towards you with an admission of some kind of an honesty or truth. I do feel like with this Justice card that this does also feel like a karma card. So I do feel like there is a sense of being able to actually experience a lot of relief with hearing information from somebody. So with this Justice card, this also feels like an energy of somebody seeking forgiveness. I do feel like when it comes to someone in the situation, you may feel like somebody has wronged you or has treated you unfairly. And I do feel like with this Justice card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of somebody taking a move towards being able to actually right that wrong with you. I do feel like with the Six of Pentacles showing up over here, this feels like a pretty supportive energy, but I also feel that this does also feel like an invested energy. So when it comes to a situation where you are dealing with this person, I do feel like this is an energy of being in a position where you are dealing with somebody who's not playing with you. I do feel like this person is invested. I also feel like this person is in it for something quite substantial. And I do feel like with that Knight of Wands, this does feel like a light-hearted energy, especially when it comes to the way somebody is approaching you. But I do feel like this person has more depth to them. I also feel this person is someone who's more invested. And I do feel like with the World card that it is something that is also something this person is ready for. So I do feel like they're meeting you at the right time. I'm going to clarify these cards. We have honeymoon. We have codependency. And we have release your ex. So this honeymoon card showing up over here, this is a pretty positive energy, especially about a certain stage or time that is especially happening. So I do feel like with this honeymoon card, this could be what's on the horizon. I also feel that when it comes to somebody that you're dealing with, they are looking at things in a very positive light as far as where things can get to and what things can be. I do feel that with this honeymoon card showing up over here, this is also an energy of being able to enter into a more blissful time. I do feel like that could be something happening on the horizon, especially with the holidays coming up. But I also feel that with this is really reaching a stage in this connection where it's like things are more so leveled out. And I do feel like also reaching a point where it's like you're taking the next step into a next stage in this connection. Could be in honeymoon phase. I also feel that with this honeymoon card showing up over here, there's a lot of optimism and excitement as far as how this person feels about you. And I do also feel that with that Three of Wands showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of even reaching a point of impatience when it comes to waiting on a situation, or even just being in a position where there's excitement for what's coming next and being in a space where somebody can't take the waiting stage anymore or any longer. But with this codependency card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of really being in a space where it's like you're trying to grapple with certain things within your own personal growth journey. I do feel like with this codependency card showing up over here, somebody in the situation could have a lot that they're working on or working through or growing past, especially when it comes to any personal issues. Could even have to do with addiction. But I do feel like with the codependency card showing up over here, this also feels like attachment within a connection, and there's a lot weighing on it because of feeling like there is a need. There's a placing of need, and this coming from a place of attaching in a way that is perhaps not necessarily as true to what the situation actually is. I do feel like with this codependency card showing up over here, this also feels like an energy where it's like kind of holding somebody back, I do feel. So I do feel like with this codependency card, this does also feel like working through personal issues. And I do feel like with that energy and that focus in that regard, there is also improvement when it comes to putting in that work. So I do feel like this connection is actually affected from any kind of going through of any issues like that. And I do feel like that is pertaining to Six of Cups. There's a lot of love here. There is also a lot of compassion for, I do feel like, these deeper issues within this connection. But I do feel like it's something that somebody's trying to work through. And I do feel like there is also support through this connection, getting past that with that Six of Pentacles. Let's release your ex card showing up over here. This also is, I'm also getting it pertaining to the Six of Cups. There is something that needs to be let go of in order to allow for this connection to flourish and really move to the next step, as intended with that World card. So I do feel like there's something that is no longer serving this connection. And I do feel like with the release your ex card showing up over here, this is about being able to really come to a place of acceptance and also really letting go of what's not serving the bigger picture and the way forward in this connection. So I do feel like with this release your ex card showing up over here, this could be a person, but it could also be a thing, or even just a sense of holding on to a memory that is no longer serving this connection. And I do feel like with the Ace of Wands, this is about really reaching that turning of a corner within a connection, especially when it comes to being able to thrive in this connection. So I do feel like with being able to work through any personal issues and even any issues with this codependency energy, I do feel like being able to enter into a new chapter in this connection, void of any kind of weighing down of anybody with this release your ex card. And even when it comes to anything that's no longer serving oneself or the connection, do you feel like there's a new beginning, a new chapter as well that's possible, even with the World card. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Sagittarius, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Sagittarius.